World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day. This is World News in 5 here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The United Nations Security Council is calling for a Syrian-led political transition that allows all Syrians to independently and democratically determine their own futures following the ouster of longtime leader Bashar al-Assad. In a statement, the UN Security Council said the political process should be based on a 2015 Security Council resolution that calls for a new constitution and UN-monitored elections. It also highlighted the need to prevent the Islamic State militant group from re-establishing its capabilities in Syria, where a decade ago it seized large areas in the country's east. The Security Council further called for Syria and neighboring countries to avoid actions that could undermine each other's security, and specifically for Syria and Israel to not risk the safety of UN peacekeepers in charge of a buffer zone in the Golan Heights. The UN envoy for Syria warned that the war is not over yet. The country is fragile and facing numerous challenges, and it must rapidly move toward an inclusive political transition. In other news overseas, medics said on Wednesday that Israeli airstrikes killed at least 12 people in the Gaza Strip. The strikes included one in the town of Beit Lahia in northern Gaza that killed at least 10 people. Other Israeli strikes hit central Gaza and the Rafah area in the southern part of the Palestinian enclave. The continued violence came amid a fresh push to secure a ceasefire agreement between Israel and the militant group Hamas that would include the release of hostages still being held by militants in Gaza. Israeli officials in recent days have cited optimism about a potential breakthrough in the long-stalled negotiations, while Hamas said it believes a deal is possible if Israel does not add new conditions. And news from the Philippine Foreign Service Post, the Philippines championed a whole-of-society approach to achieve an inclusive and agile statistical system at the 9th session of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission of Asia and the Pacific's Committee on Statistics held at the UN Conference Center in Bangkok. Under Secretary Claire Dennis Mapa, National Statistician and Civil Registrar General at the Philippine Statistics Authority, led the Philippine delegation together with Under Secretary Lisa Grace Bersales, Executive Director of the Commission on Population and Development. In the Philippine statement to the regional body, Under Secretary Mapa underscored the importance of the whole-of-society approach and political and financial support for inclusive statistical systems in achieving the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Under Secretary Mapa also reiterated the Philippines' commitment to building a more agile, innovative, and responsive statistical system which includes civil registration and national ID registration of all Filipinos. He proudly shared the Philippine government's successful implementation of the 2024 Census of Population and Community-Based Monitoring System or POPSEN CBMS the Provincial Product Accounts or PPA, and the enactment of the Philippine Ecosystem and Natural Capital Accounting System or PENCAS Act. The POPs and CBMS of the Philippine Statistics Authority updates population statistics and the list of beneficiaries of social protection programs used by local government units, while the PPA measures economic performance at the local level. The PENCAS Act is legislation that integrates natural capital considerations into the country's statistical frameworks. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5 for Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.